I think I need a nicer chair. I did actually have a chair for this room, you know, and I binned it. So I now have to wiggle around on a fold-up chair with a cushion under my bum. That's such a clever idea, right? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hello, creepy friends. Welcome back to Slams and Bobs for another Laura Geller special trial edition. Because of the leap day event that QVC did on February 29th, they had 4 easy pay installments on everything they showed, which meant that I was able to get a few bits that I'd been looking into kind of trialing, all of them being Laura Geller. One of them you may or may not have seen yet. It was the Real Deal Concealer Duo, and I've currently concealed my face at the minute, and I have quite a lot of evil going on in my face right now. So I have here the Laura Geller Everyday Favourites 4-piece collection. I'm going to hold it here because I can't get too close to the camera now. In this box you get 4 pieces. You get the foundation, a brush, a spackle treatment and a lip colour. I've mostly been attracted to trying this foundation. It was actually on an advanced order, this product, and come a lot quicker than I was expecting it to. I was thinking it was going to be dispatched this week. It was dispatched I think last week, and I had it I think by Tuesday or Wednesday. Unfortunately, because of people being in the house, I haven't been able to do the video with you yet, but I have been trialing it out, which means I already know 1 or 2 things I do and don't like about this set. So we'll get right into it and I will take you through every product. I have the foundation shade of Porcelain, I will just tell you all now. And I also have a little Laura Geller blush, but we'll get to that at the end. So here are the 4 pieces you get: foundation, lip colour, brush and spackle hydrating primer treatment. Obviously, as I say, the foundation was my main excitement because it's a colour correcting foundation and I love the look of this foundation. It's so clever. As you know, I've renounced liquid foundations because they don't do much for my oily skin tone. They just make me worse. Shade, you can see it's about here-ish. It's the Porcelain, which is the fairest shade. This is Bait and Balance Brighten foundation, and to my knowledge it's one of the only Laura Geller foundations in the UK. It's the only one I've seen Debenham sell as well, and it's the only one I've seen QVC sell, I believe. This is a set foundation product. It's not like the BM, which is loose. It is a 9-gram product, which doesn't seem like a lot, but BM didn't seem like a lot, and I got a ton of use out of that one, and I'm still getting use out of it to this day. The next product we have is this lip colour, which we're going to apply at the end. This is Pink Mink, and it's a lovely neutralish but standout lip colour. I love the fact that there's Laura Geller written on the back of the stick. That is the shade of the lip colour. I think that's wearable for every day, but you know, you might think that's more of an evening look. It's up to you. I have actually been trialing wearing this to work, and I think this is this is colour enriched anti-aging lipstick. Do I need anti-aging? I suppose I do, really. Like I said, I went to number 7 and the lady was like, how old are you, can I ask? I'm 26. Oh, well, you should try her early defence. Do I look old? I don't want to look old yet. Do I look old? I really hope I don't look old yet. My worst feature of aging is under my eyes as well. Under my eyes is the worst thing in the world for me. It's not my favourite by any standard. I always think that they look like wrinkled and creasely, and I should probably start my neck next because that's the thing that will like go. The next thing we have is the Spackle Hydrating Moisturising Under Makeup Primer. And being an idiot, I decided it was best to apply the concealer before I applied the primer because I'm dumb, eternally dumb, which is fine. This is like a white cream product, you can see there. I'll be honest, I'm kind of a little disappointed with the spackle treatment products. I've got the colour correcting one here, so I've got the colour correcting ones there, and I'll be honest, these aren't my favourite. I was going to do a whole video on these and tell you that I didn't like them, and to be honest, I don't think I'm going to do just an epic fail video. I'll just tell you a bit about them now. They are full-size, soothing colour correction treatments for sensitive skin, which normally I do have, but what I found with these is that these are probably this is probably the worst primer I've ever used for creating oil on my skin. I mean, literally, I would have the makeup and literally a few hours after use, it would start to, as I call it, pixelate, and it would kind of be splitting, and basically there would be bits of foundation just stuck in every orifice of like pore of my skin that I don't like. However, it's not a downer on the foundations, because I found that when I used a different primer under this, different primer under even this foundation, it stayed put, which means therefore it is this causing my oiliness. So unfortunately, this one, even though it was again one of my leap day deals, will be going back to QVC. It wasn't my favourite product. You might feel completely differently about this. Please do tell me if you have tried this and loved it. I wasn't a lover, unfortunately. The spackle treatments I'm not very sold on at all, and I'm sorry to report that. I'm only here to be honest and tell you what I think. And the last thing I have before I do try and apply the primer around the concealer is the retractable baked powder brush. Now, before we get anywhere with this is the brush. I'm going to give you one humble tip. See this brush? I hated it. It was rubbish. It did not apply the foundation very, very well at all. Therefore, I'm not even going to use it in this video. It's staying on the floor. So we are going to start with this spackle treatment, as I mentioned. And as I said, I've already put concealer on my blemishes and under my eyes, because we did just film the concealer video first. But onwards and upwards, Alonzi, as Second Doctor would say. Thank you, David Tennant. And we're going to get onto this. It says to apply a thin layer. So I'm going to take a thin layer of this kind of liquidy stuff, and I'm going to take it firstly on my forehead, around here. I'm actually going to pat it into the skin, hoping that it doesn't disturb the concealer, because I'm a doofus, and that's completely fine, because I forgot. But to be fair, this is meant to be water resistant, so technically I should be able to put the primer on and not be worried about it going anywhere at all. This is a revolutionary new way to apply your primer, by the way, guys, to pat it into the skin like this. So my initial thing when I've put this on is that I feel like it makes my forehead look quite shiny. Bearing in mind I did use the Benefit Matte Rescue earlier, and that seems to take away the shine. I did not do my nose, because my nose is the centre of all oil, and I don't tend to apply products that I worry are going to cause me oil on my nose. I've also already concealed the nose, and when I tend to apply it too much on the nose, it gets oilier, so we're not going there. So onto the foundation. So since I'm not going to use the brush provided, you might be asking yourselves, what are you going to use? Well, we got two options. I can either use the Bare Minerals Seamless Buffing Brush, or I can use the Bare Minerals Flawless Face Brush. Since I've got quite so many blemishes today, I'm actually going to use this one, because it's going to give me a kind of more heavier coverage, I'm going to say, upon the evils. Can you see them? They're quite well concealed because of the Laura Geller concealer. It's basically, you know why blemishes and outbreaks like this happen to me? What do women get once a month? That's when it happens to me. Beyond that, my skin is good for like 3 weeks out of the month. It's just that one last week that my skin goes, nah! I'm literally just going to take this around. I'm going to get a little bit on. I am going to tap it out like I was using BM. And then I'm just going to quite easily just take it into the skin. So I have one layer of the baked foundation applied. Technically speaking, since, as we said, this is a colour correcting product, it should get into any remaining redness that the concealer hasn't covered up with regards to my evil blemishes and even it out. It's kind of done that, but I think I'm still seeing some redness going on here. As for the colour of the foundation, I think the shade is wonderful. It is a lovely pale shade, and I definitely feel quite cool in it. I definitely feel very porcelain, which I like to feel. I don't like to feel like I'm a different colour, which sometimes I think foundations can make you look a completely different colour, especially if you're doing too much contouring. That just isn't pretty to me whatsoever. Sometimes with a lot of the powder foundations as well, you really have to wait until they get into your skin, they seep in that little bit more, and then they kind of show their full coverage. At first glance, when you look at it and think, that's done diddly. But once it rests in and you kind of look at it and go, oh, actually, that's really done a good job. Going on now, I'm actually going to use this brush, which is the Flawless Face brush, which is a BM brush. I'm sorry, Laura Geller, I did not like that brush that you provided. It wasn't good for me. So I'm just going to get that right in there, the lovely fluffy brush, and I'm going to go back and buff again. So 2 layers is normally all I do with regards to this foundation, and that is the top amount for me, I feel. The one thing I'm going to do now quickly is just take the BM concealer brush and just rub under my eyes slightly, because I have kind of encouraged those lines that I don't like. My baby lines, as I call them. I don't like product sitting in those lines because then it does age the face. Not a fan of that. On the whole, I find this to be a lovely foundation. I know there's a few of you that are going to sit there and say, well, if you've got BM and you love BM, why would you try another product? It cannot hurt to have another brand in your arsenal that you know is a great foundation. Eyes, lips, eyebrows, mascaras, I go all out to try anything with them. I have Urban Decay, I have YSL, I have a million different things. Concealers, Laura Geller one. But I've tried, great, a million different types of things, and it's mainly the foundation I've since last year really gone, oh, I love BM, I love BM, I'm staying with BM. But I really did want to try this, and doing the leap year thing has really given me a chance to experiment with that. I think this is a lovely foundation. It definitely covers well. It hasn't quite gone onto all those blemishes yet, but as I've said, you normally have to give, I think, powder foundations a little bit of time to really settle into the skin before you start to notice their benefits. That was the mistake I made when I first used BM. I judged it before I tried it, and once I kind of had it on and looked again, I was like, oh, everything's gone, wow. And that was kind of the moment I was conveyed. This is very much the same. I love the fact that it settles well into everything. It has absolutely colour corrected a lot of the remaining redness I had with regards to the evils going on around my chin. It is so bad under here, and I'm so glad that you can't see it properly, because it means that the product is absolutely working for me. So our last 2 things to do is to apply this little Baked Gelato Flower Rose blush. This does not come with the kit. This is a product I bought from elsewhere. It's a little pretty blusher, and I've kind of been a bit disappointed by this, I will admit. It did not give the colouring I thought it would. It's kind of more of a highlighter than anything. I don't think it's a great blush. I'm just going to take this angled cheek brush I have, and I'm just going to dot it. I feel like it highlights the cheek more than gives you a flush of pink about it. And I think maybe I should have had more of the hot pink shade that you can see over here surrounding the flower element of this, because the fact that I've got more of the rose kind of frosty pink takes away from that. It's a nice enough shade, but it's not very long lasting, which is a slight bit disappointing. I think I've got a brush bristle on my cheek. Yeah, I have. It's enough for daytime, but don't expect this to do any wonders, because I simply didn't think it did. And for our last step, we are going to apply the Pink Mink lip colour, and that will be the end. This slicks on really easily. It's a lovely shade. It's not too much, I don't think. I think this is a good everyday look, as long as you've not gone too heavy on the eye. Like I've said I think a million times, I tend to use work looks just to experiment with the palettes that I have, and just play, not my nice ones, not my Vice 4s or anything like that. They're the good ones. And my Too Faced chocolate bars. I'm looking for peanut butter. Does anyone know anywhere in the UK that does the peanut butter Too Faced palette? I want it. Find it for me, tell me where to get it. And that is the full 4 pieces of, well, 3 out of 4 because we didn't use the brush, full kit applied to my face. I do really like this foundation. I just think that the spackle treatments for me can encourage oiliness, and they're not probably a product that I would consider buying. The foundation, yeah, I think it's a product I would definitely repeat buy. It's a product I'm going to keep in my arsenal as well. I love the brightening element of it. I love the colours in the foundation, and I love the fact that it is colour correcting as well. I think that definitely works well. It's great for anyone who's got redness, anyone like me at the minute who's got major blemishes, darkness under the eyes. It works for everything, and it's so easy to apply. It's just put and done and you're out the door. It's not a lengthy process. The downside to this is that brush. We wouldn't keep the brush. On the whole, I think I'd give the kit a 3 out of 5. Mainly the 3 goes to this and the lip colour. We wouldn't keep the brush. On the whole, I think I'd give the kit a 3 out of 5. Mainly the 3 goes to this and the lip colour. To the primer and the brush, not a great fan. This kit was about 20 something pounds, and I know the foundation on its own is about 20 pounds. I'm going to try and get the prices up here for you so you can know for definite. As always, I'm going to say to you, head to QVC if you want to try something that a brand that they have. It is much more financially beneficial for you if you do this as opposed to going to the high street, because if you don't like it, you're stuck with it. You can't so use foundations on eBay anymore, but if you buy it on QVC and you don't like it, back it goes. Just my opinion. There is a Laura Geller Today special value coming up in, I think, early April on QVC, so keep a look out for that. That is UK QVC, not US QVC. Thank you everyone for being here and wasting glorious minutes of your day watching me ramble on about makeup that I'm now wearing. If you would like to subscribe or follow, share, whatever you want, Instagram and Twitter and my little subscribe are down here. Please keep watching because, as I said, we're having a little bit of a Laura Geller fest. To anybody else, happy Easter if it comes out before Easter, and I will see you again for another video of whatever the hell. See you later. Bye.